declutter part 2. Today we're going to be going over face palettes, eyeshadow palettes, setting sprays, single eyeshadows, powders, all of my lip products, lip liners. It's just the rest of my collection that we didn't do in part 1. So I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you've joined me today. Grab a cup of coffee or some tea. Get cozy. It's going to be a long one. And let's get to it. Again, my goal for this declutter is to have everything in my collection be something that I absolutely love. And everything else I am letting go of. So let's get started with face palettes. I took some feedback from my first declutter video and zoomed in a little bit, so hopefully you guys can see better so you can see what each palette is. But let's start with this one. I bought this on sale, and I have this tendency where even if I'm not like eyeing a product like this, if it's on sale, I'm like, ooh, do I want that? I really haven't used it much, and I bought it just because it was Natasha Denona higher end brand, and I got a discount on it. But the two products in here that I use, these two, I was swatching them the other day and they've dried up quite a bit. And like these products are fine. These two are a little bit shimmery. This one is very shimmery, and then this is the only one that I actually really enjoy out of the powders. The two creams I really like, but it's not worth it to keep this whole palette just because of that. Maybe if there's some smaller palette out there from Natasha Denona that has these two creams, I can repurchase, but it's not like a crazy good formula that I'm considering something like that. So it's just been collecting dust. It's a really pretty palette, and I wish I used it more, but I think it's time to let it go. It's probably way expired too. Diamond and Blush and highlighting palette in 01 Daria. So that is going to be a declutter. Okay, I love this one. I got this at, I think it was Bell's Outlet. I think that's how you say that. Bell's. It's the It Cosmetics. I don't know. Actually, I think this is one of their holiday palettes that they come out with each year. I don't know what year this was. Probably last year. But it was at a discounted store, so it might have been a year old already at that point. You know, I don't know. But I do love this palette. I use all 3 of the blush shades, and then I bring it traveling. I'll use this for my brows. But I love the big mirror. Love the rose gold packaging, and I still use this. It's more of like a summery shade, so the shades are darker, and you know, they don't work for me as well in the winter when I'm my fairest, but they are beautiful in the summer, and I'm definitely going to be keeping this. It's the Jaclyn Hill Bronze and Blushing Duo. The blush shade is Pink Me Up, and the bronzer shade is Oh Honey. And I actually really love this palette. This formula is stunning, and it makes me wish that Jaclyn Cosmetics didn't go out of business. But I love this bronzer. You can probably tell there's quite a bit of use in that. This tone of blush, I usually prefer something a bit more pigmented and like deeper. But I do use this quite a bit in the winter when I'm a bit more fair, and it's not necessary to have a blush that's so pigmented because I don't have as much color in my skin. So I really enjoy both of these. The formula is beautiful, and they're similar to like Hourglass, like kind of diffusing, very natural finish powders, and they're gorgeous. So I'm going to be keeping this. I got it at Marshall's or TJ Maxx, but love it. Love the packaging. Love the mirror. Definitely keeping. This one I got on sale probably 2 or 3 years ago. It was after Christmas and like after the holidays and stuff, and then it was heavily discounted. I think it was like 50% off or something like that. And this is something that I had been considering buying prior to seeing it on sale. So I think they're normally 70 or 80. Hourglass comes out with these each year, but then I got it for 40 or 50. So a great purchase for me. I love it. This is the one I bring traveling the most just because of the mirror, and it has all the bottom rows. I really like the bronzer, the 2 blushes, and then I use this middle one as a setting powder sometimes, or even to diffuse out any mistakes that I would make, like with eyeshadow. I don't use the corner highlights as much. They're a bit more like glittery, but I do use it all the time, and I love it, so I'm definitely keeping. This is an all-time favorite. The only critique I would make, Ulta Beauty, if you're watching, I think they just repackaged recently, so it's going to look different, but it's the Ulta Beauty 3-in-1 cheek palette in the shade California Sunset. This is my favorite shade. I can't speak to the other ones. I like this because it's so neutral. The bronzer you can build up to be a bit darker, and they're just gorgeous baked formulas. A lot of face palettes, like even some of the other ones that I just kept, I don't like every single shade, you know, like in the Hourglass one, but this one I love every single shade in here, use all of them. And the only thing is I do wish it had a mirror, because then I would definitely bring it traveling more often if it had a big mirror in it. But I'm definitely keeping this. I love it. I use it all the time. It has been in my everyday makeup basket recently, so I've been using it recently and falling back in love with it. But recommend it all the time. This shade is very good for fair skin. Like I said, I haven't used the medium and deep ones, but they do have other shades for other skin tones. But I love this formula. I think it's underrated, and I think Ulta Beauty, their makeup collection is actually underrated in general. They have a lot of good stuff, so definitely keeping. Okay, let's transition into loose and pressed powders, I guess. This one is an all-time favorite. I think this is so underrated. It's still $4-ish. I think it's fairly cheap still for e.l.f. products. They've sold this for a very long time. It's the Prime and Stay Finishing Powder. I have it in the shade Fair Light. The light shade I have bought in the past, and it's way more yellow, and it doesn't translate as translucent as this one does. So I would definitely, like, even if you're deeper skin tone, I would pick this shade. It doesn't have much color to it at all, and it just acts like a translucent powder, but really mattifying, really great for traveling, very blurring. It's incredible keeping. This one is newer to me, but I've been enjoying it. Just the basic original Laura Mercier translucent loose finishing powder. Great basic, good for oily skin and keeping. It's the Pat McGrath Labs. Oh gosh, all of that writing is worn off. I think it's like their blurred under eye powder or something like that. I have it in the lightest shade. I'll link it down below, but as you can see, I love this, use this a lot. Definitely helps the concealer crease less. And yeah, I think it's really finely milled. So the formula is different, but I think it performs very similarly to the e.l.f. one. So I like this. I'm going to use it because I bought it, but I don't think it's anything like spectacular that you have to go out and buy. I think you can find stuff at the drugstore for just the same performance without the like higher price tag. So I like this, but I'm not going to repurchase when I use it up, but I am going to keep it. This one is new to me. I haven't even opened it yet, mostly because I couldn't get this off the day I wanted to, and I was like in a rush. But it's the Bare Minerals Original Mineral Veil. Excited to test this out. I got it in a like kit at Marshall's that had this size mini, and then a mini of their original powder foundation. So I've yet to try this, so I'm definitely going to keep it. This one is good. I don't necessarily love it. It's a good option. It's good for travel. It's not really, it doesn't translate as like a banana powder. It's just more acts like a translucent powder in my opinion. And I think it's pretty good at picking up oil and like tamping down oil. But it's not like the most mattifying I've ever used. I just like it because it's convenient, so I'm gonna keep it, but I wouldn't repurchase it. This is a classic. It's all scratched up. The Maybelline Fit Me Translucent Loose Finishing Powder is incredible. I have the shade Fair. I've tried the shade Fair Light before, and it's just a bit too yellow. But yeah, this formula is so finely milled, so high-end for like not a high-end price. I think it's just a go-to for so many people, and has been for so long from the drugstore because it's just that good. So definitely keeping. I use this when I have more like special event makeup, you know. So when I want it to last a long time, I'll like set with this all over the face. But it's incredible. Love it. I just wish the packaging were smaller, but it's really good. I don't feel like you need to go get the Huda Beauty one because this exists and it's like so much cheaper. I think the only thing Huda has going for it that's competing against this one is the different shades that they have, like the pink shades and, you know, all of that. But this, if you just want a basic like skin toned powder, they make it in deeper shades too. It's incredible. Keeping. Let's do powder foundations. I realize I'm not really getting rid of a lot right now. But we'll get there. So this is the same thing I was just talking about in that like mini kit. It's the original Bare Minerals powder foundation. I have it in the shade Fairly Light 03. It's a great shade match for me. I've only used it once, and I need to continue using it to like gather my thoughts around it, but definitely keeping because it's newer. I bought this online, and I first bought this shade. It's the Laura Geller Baked Balance and Brighten powder foundation. I first got the shade Fair, and then I ordered the shade Porcelain. I told them the shade didn't work for me, and they gave me a gift card to buy the other shade at no extra cost. So their customer service is incredible, but this shade Fair I really thought would work for me. I'm honestly more like light, but the swatches look darker, and then when I try to use this on my face, it really oxidizes and pulls super orange. So that's why I asked for the shade Porcelain, but then Porcelain is it's like cool toned and pink, which is not my undertone. So if there were shade in between these, it'd just be perfect. But I know for a fact that the Fair shade doesn't work for me, so I'm going to declutter this one. I still haven't used this that much, but it's just a tinge too light, so I might end up decluttering this one too. But this one, it doesn't look too dark, but when it's on my face, it just continues to darken and darken, and it looks not great at all. So I'm going to declutter the Fair shade, and I'll keep Porcelain for now. I'm not super over the moon about the formula, but I want to continue thinking about it and like forming my thoughts around it. This one is really good. This is more, I don't know if it's marketed let's see. Yeah, it's like a multitasking baked face powder, so it's not really marketed as a powder foundation. I have it in the shade 15 Nude. It's the Sephora Micro Smooth line. But this is gorgeous. It's like, you know, light coverage powder foundation. I use it with like a more dense brush to get more coverage, but really good, quick and easy. If you don't really like liquid foundation, this is a great choice for just like running out the door before work. I think it just really refines the skin. Doesn't have amazing coverage, but it's good at evening the skin tone out, and it's not too drying because it has kind of like an iridescence, like natural finish to it. It won't suck the life out of you. And it also, you know, throughout the day, I think powder foundations look better and better because they sink into the skin more. But I love this one. I'm gonna be keeping it. This one I wanted to love, but the shade is too light. Just such a bummer. My favorite powder foundation to date that I've tried, I don't have it in my collection right now, but it's the J Cat Aquassurance powder foundation. That stuff is amazing. The coverage is so high and it looks so natural at the same time. So I was kind of like wanting to test a new one, see if anything, you know, compared to that one, and so that's when I bought this. But this just doesn't work for me. The shade's too light. This is the shade Bright Beige 03. I think their shade range is kind of odd. Like beige is normally a more medium skin tone, the title of the shade, so I don't know. It's very light. But I'm just gonna declutter. I'm not reaching for it, and it's just collecting dust. Okay, so out of the face palettes, powder foundations, and loose powders, I'm decluttering these three. Nice. Okay, this is gonna be the doozy. I didn't realize I had so many darn lip products. I went through all of my purses and collected a lot of the stuff that was living in my purse, which I'm going to keep those because those are the ones on the top and those are the ones I love the most. But yeah, this is definitely overflowing. Like I said, they don't all live in here, so it doesn't always look like this, but let's start there because it's a lot. I have these sectioned into lip glosses, lip stains. These are like true like bullet lipsticks or lip balms, and then these are liquid lipsticks. Let's start there. All right, these are all my lip glosses / lip oils. Okay, right out of the gate, I think you can tell what one of my favorite formulas is. The e.l.f. lip oil is incredible. The Glow Reviver lip oil. So the first one I got was this. This is in the shade Rose Envy. Obviously, like, this lives in my purse, and as you can tell, I'm in love with it and almost through with it. I recently got this one in the shade Jam Session, which has been so fun for fall and winter. I've been keeping this one in my purse as well. And then this is the newest one to me. I got this in a Secret Santa thing for work. It's their new ones, the Glow Reviver lip oil, the glimmer finish ones in Princess Cut. And it's just got glitter in it. It's so pretty. Oh my gosh. So I'm keeping all of these because I love them all and I love this formula so much. It's very like if I had to pick one word to describe it, it's cushiony, which I know sounds weird for a lip oil, and I don't think it's very a true lip oil. It's just almost like chapstick or lip balm in liquid form. So it's very hydrating, and a lot of lip oils I've used in the past aren't hydrating. So it's pretty long lasting too for how comfortable it feels on the lips. So keeping all of these for sure. Like 2 of these live in my purse at all times. I did end up getting this one because I wanted to replace it with this Essence Extreme Shine Volume Lip Gloss. These are like true lip gloss formulas, so they're a bit more sticky. They do last a long time, but this lighter shade just kind of cancels out the like pigment of my lips, which is the opposite of what I'm going for when I like use a lip product. Either it has to be clear or it has to like kind of emphasize or enhance the color of my lips instead of like muting it out like this shade does. This shade Gold Dust is just a bit too light, but on top of that, you can really feel the glitter on your lips when you wear this, and I hate that. It's a pretty color, pretty shimmer formula, but the e.l.f. one is just more refined and just feels like higher end. So I'm gonna declutter this one. I don't reach for it because I don't like the way it feels, and it's like gritty. This one I got in a 2-pack from TJ Maxx or Marshalls. Dear My Lip Mask, and it's their hydrating lip plumper. It's very minty, very good, but it's basically done. I'm just kind of over this. I'm not reaching for it because I've used like all of the bottle pretty much. It's getting kind of like old and just gross, so I'm gonna declutter this. It came with a lip mask that I've used up completely. I had it like on my nightstand. I love this. It served me well, but I'm gonna declutter it now. This I got at Marshall's. I saw that these were half off at Sephora recently too. I think it's because they came out with their lip oil formula, Clinique did, and I think that's just more trendy right now. People are reaching for that over glosses. It's their creamy lip gloss. This is 01 Black Honey Pop, which if you know, if you saw my last video, the blush in this shade is like one of my favorites ever. It probably is my favorite. So this is gonna stay. I love this color. It's definitely, like I said, it's like a true gloss formula, so it's more sticky and it's like more long lasting than lip oils are. I like it. I like the shade, and I got it half off, which I also love, so definitely gonna keep this. This looks beautiful on top of like a brown lip liner. I think it's so pretty, so loving this. Keeping this one is almost done. I got it in a mini kit. I think it actually just came with the Pillow Talk lip liner, and then this is the Pillow Talk, it's like their lip bath or something like that, but I love this. It has a minty finish. I'm almost through with it. I've kept it in my purse for a long time, and now I have it at my desk when I work. I just reapply it throughout the day, so definitely keeping, and it will probably be in an empties video soon. It's a gorgeous kind of warmer tone. Love it. This is so underrated. This is the AF94 line at Walmart. I think they're kind of, I don't know if it's discontinued now, but they're phasing it out of the stores. But this is the Give 'em Lip High Shine Lip Gloss, and this is like kind of glass finish. It's so pretty. It's just the clear shade, and I like to put this over like lip stains to make it more glossy if the lip stain formula isn't super glossy or doesn't last. The gloss doesn't last as long as I want it to. So definitely keeping, I think everyone should have just like a clear gloss in their collection. It's a good staple. This I like. It is the very trendy Tarte Maracuja Juicy Lip. This is in the shade Orchid. It's really pretty. I should reach for this more. I just view it kind of more as like a summery shade, but it's got a very, very strong like coconutty scent, which I don't love, and I kind of don't love this packaging. Like it seems more precarious to keep this in my purse than something that just has a doe foot applicator, but this is totally up my alley. Beautiful shade, gorgeous formula, very comfortable on the lips as well, so I'm going to keep this. This one I got in like a multi-pack from Sephora. It came with like a lip or an eyeliner, like a hair mask, and I think it was earlier this year that I bought this. But I wanted to try this formula, but I don't really love the shade. It's in the shade Velvet. The formula is really good. It's the Lawless Forget the Filler Lip Plumping Line Smoothing Gloss. I just think this is a bit too cool tone for me. I'm not reaching for it right now. I'm gonna try it like a couple more times, see what I feel, because like I haven't used it recently, so I can't really recall, but I think I just might have the wrong shade. So that's gonna kind of like go in my purgatory, where I'm gonna test it a couple more times and then see if if I'll declutter or not. But yeah, it's just a bit cool tone. I usually reach for something like a bit warmer. So we'll see. This is a maybe. The Beauty Counter Beyond Gloss in the shade Sienna. And it's really pretty. It's kind of like the Black Honey shade. Maybe a bit more brown. Oops. And it smells like cupcakes. It's very pretty. I was gonna declutter one of these because I feel like they're kind of similar, but now looking at the swatch, I think like this has enough more red pigment in it to where it differs from this one. This is more brown. So I'm gonna keep this. It was on clearance at Ulta, so I'm not sure you can get this anymore. I think it might be on the Beauty Counter website itself, but not at Ulta. But it's a good formula. It's again like a true gloss formula, so not as comfortable as a lip oil, but I'm gonna keep it. I'll definitely use it. Alrighty, these are all of my lip stains. I love lip stains. I think they're so fun. And I know they're very trendy right now, which is exciting. Oh, this isn't a lip stain. But I think, in my opinion, K-Beauty does lip stains the best, so I need to like explore those more. This is a K-Beauty one. Let's start up here. This is the newest in my collection. It's this Maybelline Superstay Teddy Tint, and it's really pretty. I have it in the shade Mascara Tear, which is more brown, and I bought it because it's unique in my collection. It smells like grapefruit, kind of something fruity, but it's just like a, is it even a stain? Liquid lip tint. It might not actually be a stain. It's just one of those like blotted lip formulas that is very popular in K or Asian beauty. I wouldn't really wear it like full on pigment like that. Like I'd kind of just sheer it out on the lips, and I like it that way. But it's a really unique formula, like more like that, you know, not like full pigment. And it's really pretty with the right lip liner. So I've been liking that. I'm gonna keep it. That's been in my everyday makeup basket, so I've been wearing it a lot. These two, I really, really love this formula. It's so unique. L'Oreal Lip Color Rouge. And this one is in the shade Be Outstanding. This one is in the shade Be Uncontrollable. I love these shades and I love this formula, but it's changing because it's that old. It's just time to let it go. I've used a lot of both of these, and I think they're actually both like almost done. So I was holding on to them for a while, but I just, you know, they feel like they're changing and I don't feel comfortable putting them on my lips anymore. But I highly recommend this formula. It's a lip stain, but it also is like a lip gloss finish. And so when you put it on, it looks like lip gloss, and then somehow the formula just stays through like eating. It'll wear off a little bit like on the inside of the lips, but the lip line stays there. And it's kind of tacky, so if you don't like that feeling on your lips, maybe you don't get this, but that's where like the staying power comes in. I love this formula. I'm definitely gonna repurchase. I might try a new shade, but yeah, I love these. They're kind of, the original formula came from YSL, and if you didn't know, YSL is like the parent company of L'Oreal, so you can get a lot of the similar or same formulas at a much cheaper price. So highly recommend. I think this formula is super underrated, and I'm gonna definitely repurchase, but they've just gotten too old, sadly. Okay, this is one of those things that I've had in my collection since I've been like, I mean, not this exact tube, but I've repurchased it, but I bought it as a teenager. It's the Physicians Formula pH Powered Lip Gloss in the shade Light Pink, and it has like a light on the brush itself. It's got like a built-in mirror. Anyway, this, I know that these pH adjusting stuff they've been popular in the past. And I really like this kind of, I mean, it's like a true sticky lip gloss formula, and it just turns to that super light pink shade, which it's more like cool toned, which isn't very flattering on me these days. So I wonder if they have it in a different finish, because this is like, it says light pink and it has a number before it, like 7598. So I wonder if they sell it in like dark pink or whatever now. It's kind of, it's pretty dehydrating too. It kind of dries out my lips. I just think there's like, you know, better formulas out there now. This was something that I liked when I was younger, but you know, beauty has gotten better, makeup has gotten better, and I definitely would prefer something else over this. I might see if they have other shades, but honestly probably not. But yeah, this served me well, and I've like repurchased a couple bottles, so there's good memories around this, but I'm not using it anymore, so I don't need to keep it. This one is the Wet n Wild Megalass Stained Glass Lip Gloss. I have it in the shade Reflective Kisses, This is pretty unique. It's really good at staining and it's not too drying, but it's very unique because look at how, oh my gosh. I was gonna say, look at how warm tone that is for a lip stain, but, well, I guess I have to declutter it or throw it away now. That's so sad. I need a tissue. Okay, well, I was really scared I was gonna drop that on the carpet or on this towel and get it all stained. You can see it definitely works. I did like this formula. I don't know if I'll go repurchase it. I'm not even sure if they sell it anymore, actually. But that's so weird that it just fell off. So I'm just gonna throw that away, obviously. All right, this one is beautiful. The Romand Juicy Lasting Tint. I have it in the shade Mold Peach, and it actually smells like peaches, which is so much fun and like delicious. I bought this in New York, so I like kind of associate that memory with being in New York for the first time with my mom and my aunt, and it was like so much fun. Oh, how cool. They have a expiration date, and then they have like a section on the bottom where you can, the date open, and you can write on it yourself. Wow, love that. But I love this formula. It's not super, I mean, it does stain, but it's not like as much as that other one. And this is like totally up my alley, this color. So definitely keeping, like I said, I want to try the, I think it's the Etude House ones, because I want to like get more lip stains like this that have a glossy finish. I think they're beautiful, but I'm definitely keeping this one. This one is actually the CoverGirl Outlast Lip Stain. I think it's like technically their lip liner, kind of, is like how they're marketing it. It's in the shade 35 Canyon. But this is beautiful. My mom actually used this too when she was visiting recently. It looks so good on her. It's more of like a browny, warm brick shade, which is unique in my collection, and that's why I purchased it. But I've been loving it. I'm curious to see how long it lasts before it dries out, but I like this. I like the concept. The Palladio Lip Stain in the shade Mocha. Very similar to that last one, just more brown, not as like brick red. And it's also a really good formula. I have trouble getting this thing off. Ah, there we go. But yeah, definitely keeping this. I love it. I wiped off these stains and look at how well they're lasting. This is the Palladio one. This is the CoverGirl one. And that's the Wet n Wild one that broke. But yeah, the CoverGirl one's really good. I like that one. Okay, let's move on to bullet lipsticks slash lip balms. I feel like I definitely needed to go through my lip products the most. I'm getting rid of quite a bit, it seems. Okay, this is another Beauty Counter product. It's their Sheer Gloss Conditioning Lipstick in the shade Rosewood. And that's exactly what it is. It's just a sheer gloss, really pretty brown shade. I like this for my purse, and it's got like the magnetic lid, which I think is so classy and high-end. So definitely keeping that. This I got as a birthday gift, I think, at Sephora, or maybe it was Ulta. This is the Afterglow Sensual Shine Lipstick in the shade Dolce Vita. And I really like this. I don't feel like I think it should just be called lip balm. I don't really think lipstick is a great word for it. It's very sheer and shiny and really beautiful. So I've been keeping this in my purse because it's small. And I like the rose gold packaging. And the shade is perfect for me. So I'm definitely keeping this. I've been loving it. This one I got at Target. It was in like a 2-pack and I split it with my sister-in-law. Oh, that shade is pretty. I was thinking I was going to get rid of this, but I think it's because I haven't used it in so long. I'm associating the color of it with this like outer packaging, but it's actually like more watermelon-y, which I think is great for summer. So I'm going to keep this. This is a really unique shade in my collection. It's the ColourPop Just a Tint, and all the words are worn off, so I'll try and find the shade for you. And like link it below, but that's a beautiful color. I'm going to keep that. This one I am going to declutter. It's really old. It's the Undone Beauty Matte Talk lip product in the shade Baby Beige. I used this for a while. I just don't love matte lip products anymore. It's very unique. It's like cushiony and blurring, but it's just not anything I go for these days. And I used quite a bit of it. Okay, maybe not. Anyway, I'm just not reaching for it. I could like try and use it as a blush, I guess. No, I'm just gonna declutter it. It's like broken and it's old enough that it's time to let it go. I don't absolutely love it, so don't want to keep it in my collection. It's the e.l.f. Seriously Satin Lipstick in the shade Nectar. I just love this packaging, like the clear packaging. I'm really drawn to it for some reason. And the shade is very beautiful for fall. It's like a buildable lipstick formula, but it's very opaque. It's this nice, warm, nectar, like terracotta shade. And I love it. It's a great formula, so I'm keeping this. These two are some of my most repurchased, like, lip balm products. This, I've honestly, like, seriously, I've bought the Nivea lip care in the shade Cherry. I always have these all up in my purses, like, all over the house. It's just a beautiful, that's like looking so different than it looks on my lips. It looks like kind of, what does it look like? Cool tone pink, purple. I don't know if that's translating on the camera, but it's just like a natural sheer finish that really enhances my lip color, and it's just like undone, you know, barely there, kind of no makeup. So if I'm not like necessarily wearing makeup that day, it still looks good on my bare lips. But like I said, these are everywhere in my house. I love these. I repurchase like a 3-pack off of Amazon all the time. And then this one is a newer love, the Black Honey shade. It's so great for fall and winter. It's darker, but they're sheer, and then they kind of like build up the more you put them on, and it's just a really, really good formula. The first ingredient is seed oil. When I buy chapsticks, I always prefer to buy ones that have oil as the first ingredient over like beeswax, because I like that texture more. So these are amazing. I think they're underrated. I know they've become more popular recently, but you can really find a shade. They have like many more shades than just these two, so you can find one that works for you depending on your lip color and your skin tone and everything. So definitely keeping these. Mini size of the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk lipstick. I got it in like one of those kits that I was talking about, and this, I have one in my makeup kit, like a larger lipstick, and then the mini one I just keep in my collection because I like to wear it on myself too. Love it. Keeping. This one was kind of a disappointment. The e.l.f. Hydrating Core Lip Shine. I have it in the shade Lovely, and I think it just is like, I wanted it to be this perfect like peach color, and it's really pretty. And that like heart in the middle is supposed to be like the hydrating part, and then the lip color, the like actual pigment, is around it. See, that looks so good. I just don't reach for it though. I don't know why. I think this will be purgatory as well, because this formula is stunning, but I think it's just a shade. I'm not too sure, and I haven't worn it in a while, so this is gonna go in purgatory, and we'll see if I end up decluttering it or not. Okay, this is so funny. My mom bought me this. It's from the Dollar Tree. And I mean, there's no packaging. I don't know what it is or if I could even link it, but I love this color. She did such a good job picking it out. And the formula is honestly so pretty. Look at that. It's like sheer and glossy, and yeah, I love this color. I actually wear this quite a bit. The only thing is, it smells gross. It smells like Dollar Tree makeup, you know? It smells like plastic. But I love everything else about it, and I'm actually gonna keep this. I wear it a lot. These are my liquid lipsticks. So, this is probably my favorite liquid lipstick formula. CoverGirl Outlast 2-in-1 liquid lip stain system. So this is the actual color. You put this on your lips, and then you let it dry down, and then you reapply this stick. Beautiful gloss. Like, it's just clear, but it smells like yumminess, and it like conditions the lip stain and makes your lips feel, you know, like it's like a liquid lipstick, but then putting this on top of it makes it not feel like liquid lipstick. And the more you reapply this, the longer it lasts. So I love this formula. I want to buy more shades, like more darker shades. This one is in the shade 960. So I'm definitely keeping this. I wear this a lot for like special events because it like maintains through eating and everything. It's incredible. Keeping. Okay, this is another great liquid lip formula that's more comfortable than like this traditional one that like dries down. This is the Maybelline Superstay Ink Crayon. I have it in the shade Laugh Louder 40. This is a beautiful orangey red shade. It's so pretty in the summer. I love it. This formula, it tastes like, doesn't taste like, it smells like vanilla, kind of like the classic Maybelline Superstay formula smell. But it's like, you know, got more like, it's not completely matte, but it still stays a really long time. And if you didn't know, they include sharpeners on the end of these, but I've had like a nude shade in the past, and I really love this formula. I've actually been considering getting like a browner, darker shade for fall and winter. But this formula is great. It's just a comfortable kind of like liquid lipstick-esque formula without it drying down completely and like sucking all the life out of your lips. So definitely recommend this formula. I love it, and I'm gonna keep this. This one is newer to me. I mean, as you saw, I had 3 red lip shades, but they're all different. So that one was orange. This one is more blue based, so it's like cooler toned. It's the CoverGirl Atlas Ultimate liquid lipstick in the shade Wine O'Clock. And this is a recommendation from Jessica Braun. She's here on YouTube, but she recommended this shade. So blue toned or cool tone red lipsticks make your teeth look way whiter. So I like to have one in my collection. And this has been a great formula. It's very sheer, like thin, definitely stays a long time throughout eating and everything. So love this. I'm gonna keep this. And then this one is just a true like classic kind of neutral red liquid lipstick. It's the shade Dancer. It's the Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink. So this is a true liquid lip formula. I have this in my kit as well, and I use this on my clients. It's just kind of almost like a tomato, red. I don't know, these all look different to me. They might not to you. But here's like the orange one, this is the blue based one, and then this one is like the more neutral. And then this is, I think, a Kylie Cosmetics liquid lipstick sample in the shade 300 Cocoa K. And I got it in like a Sephora or an Ulta sample bag thing, so I like this shade. I don't know like how much I use liquid lipstick, so I haven't opened it because I don't want it to dry out, but I think it's good enough just for like a 1 or 2 time use, you know? So I'm gonna keep it around. Let's move on to all of these eyeliners. I think eyeliner is so fun. I didn't realize I had so many. Let's section them off into liquid and pencil formula. Okay, so starting out with liquid, I have 2 brown and 2 black, which I've had this one for way too long. This used to be my favorite liquid liner waterproof formula. It's a Physicians Formula Eye Booster Waterproof Ultra Fine Liquid Eyeliner. It's the shade Blackest Black. The thing I like about this is it's kind of more user friendly. So like if you draw a line on your eyelid and it doesn't necessarily go where you want it to, you can kind of smudge it out and like remove it with your finger. It takes longer to dry down and set. Whereas this one, the Wet n Wild Breakup Proof Skinny Waterproof Liquid Eyeliner, this one is insane. This is like heavy duty, super pigmented. Like if you make a mistake, it's pretty much just set there unless you use makeup remover. And this one is kind of more like beginner user friendly. So I'm gonna declutter this one because it's old, but I would recommend it if you're kind of a beginner and kind of scared of liquid liner. I know they make a brown shade too. So yeah, there's 2 options here, but I'm gonna keep this one in my collection because it's newer, and it's like when I go for a black liquid liner, it's more because I want a dramatic look. So this just fits my needs better now. And this, I mean, Wet n Wild, I have a lot of products that I love from them, but this is incredible. Honestly, it's so good. And it's so waterproof. Like it's easy to get off with like an oil cleanser, but if you swatch it on your hand and you wash your hands like many times throughout the day, it'll stay there. It's amazing. So I'm gonna declutter this one. Keep this one. And then I think I'm just gonna declutter this ColourPop in the shade Grande. I bought this because I was looking for like a true brown liquid liner, and these both aren't super true brown. They're kind of brown black. But I think I prefer this color of this Dieppe Silky Liquid Eyeliner in the shade Natural Brown. This is K-Beauty. I got this in New York too, at that same place I got the liquid lip stain. But this one just lasts longer. I like the brush on this one more and the color more. And this one's older, and it's more like darker brown, and if I want a brown, I want it to be a bit lighter than what looks like black, you know? So I'm gonna get rid of the ColourPop one. I don't think it's a bad formula. It's just not my favorite, and it's not like the most long lasting. So declutter this one, and then I'm gonna keep this one. So now I only have 1 brown and 1 black liquid liner. Very nice. Okay, how fun are these? Let's start with these colorful ones. I'm gonna keep all of these. I wear colorful eyeliner all the time in the summer. These were all like, these three, I guess, were all full size. And then this one is like a mini size. LA Girl Shockwave Neon Eyeliner is amazing. It stays in place, and it's just a great way to have fun. Pixie Endless Silky Eye Pen, which is also a great formula. I have the black and brown shade in my makeup kit. It's really good, smooth formula that sets down, like, you know, give it time and it'll set down and it won't budge. So I'm gonna keep all of these. I'm gonna keep all of these. This is the Kulfi Underlined Kajal Eyeliner in Cheeky Chiku. Love this. This is newest to me, the Flower Beauty Cream and Chrome Eyeliner in the shade Cocoa and Copper. I have yet to use this, so I need to play around with that more. This is a beautiful rose gold Epic Wear liner stick from NYX. And I use this on my waterline instead of kind of like a cream or a white eyeliner. I just think it's more sophisticated and fun looking. This is new to me too. This is the Hard Candy Blind Date eyeliner, similar to the Flower Beauty one. But I like this color, this like emerald green for Christmas and holiday time. So that's fun and unique in my collection, so I'm gonna keep that. And then this one I also got in New York at that same K-beauty shop. The McQueen New York Waterproof Pencil Gel Liner in the shade Romantic Huron. It's a beautiful, kind of more like rosy, taupey kind of color. It's really pretty. Oh my gosh, I have a problem with eyeshadow primer. Oh man. These are samples from Sephora. These are samples from, I think it was Nordstrom. And I'm just gonna keep all of these. I like to have enough to test and try. So I just need to take time to really form my thoughts around them. I've tried them all and most of them aren't completely crease proof. I think my favorite would be this Fenty one, but it's discontinued. So yeah, I just don't have, I have hooded eyelids, so like everything creases on me, but I have so many because I like to try them all and find the best for my makeup kit. But yeah, I'm gonna keep all of these. I'll just declutter them as I decide how I feel about them and go from there. Some of these might be dried out too, I just haven't used them recently to know, so I'm gonna keep all of these for now. Okay, let's declutter my small eyeshadow palettes. I bought this Makeup Geek palette when they were going out of business and most of their stuff was on sale. But these eyeshadows in here are actually from the ColourPop Going Coconuts palette. I depanned the ones that I use the most and put them in here. So this is like that rose cocoa one. So I'm actually gonna keep this. This one I'm gonna declutter. It's really old. It's a great formula, the Wet n Wild eyeshadow formula. It's pretty good. This is not a basic peach, the shade. I just don't reach for colors like this anymore. And if I do, I only reach for like 4 of them in this palette, and I just don't think it's worth it to keep all of these. So I'm going to declutter this. I just don't use it very much, and I don't think I'll miss it. This one is my favorite eyeshadow palette right now. It's the Wet n Wild Marilyn Monroe eyeshadow palette. These are all of the tones I go for. So like mid-tone crease color, lighter crease color, super icy for the inner corner, rose gold I put all over the lid, and then I put this in the outer corner or like the lower lash line if I want to amp it up just a step. But I take this everywhere. I take it traveling. It's always in my makeup basket, and I just always have it out of my like storage makeup drawers, which shows how much I love it. So you can still get it on Amazon, and you can buy it with just this, and it comes with like a tiny little shader brush. But you don't have to get the whole Marilyn Monroe collection to buy this, so definitely keeping, and I recommend. It's very good. This one I'm keeping as well, the Essence Bronzed This Way eyeshadow palette. It's really pretty colors. I've used this in a video in the past, and it's just a small enough palette that I like to take it traveling. It has great light shades and great dark shades. Nice big mirror, so keeping this. This one I'm also gonna keep. It's a nice travel palette, as like I mentioned before. I think the only thing it's missing for me is like a light inner corner highlight, but I'm gonna keep it around. I don't think the Natasha Denona eyeshadow formula is like crazy good compared to other eyeshadow formulas. I don't really understand what the hype is, but yeah, I'll keep it around because I have it. This one I am gonna declutter. I just don't reach for this color scheme very much anymore. I've used up the this is the Bite Size eyeshadow. This one is in the shade Rose Water, but the Peaches and Cream, I think is the name of it. It's the basic neutral one. It has a really pretty like ivory shimmery inner corner highlight. I used up that whole like first shade, the lightest shade in that that color scheme. So I love this formula, but I don't use this color scheme that much anymore. It just leans too purple. So I'm gonna declutter, and I do want to rebuy the neutral toned one. Okay, let's move on to single eyeshadows, cream and powder single shadows, which this is one of my favorite categories, so this is gonna be hard. Okay, this is the Essence Melted Chrome Eyeshadow. I think this is beautiful. I'm gonna keep this one. I have it in the shade Zinc About You. It's gorgeous. I should actually buy more shades of this. I think they still sell it. It's just a really, really like insane formula for the price. Look at that. Hourglass Scattered Lights. Who? Like, you do not need that. Just buy this one. It's like $3.99. So pretty. This is so old. They still sell this, so I don't know why I'm holding on to it. I can just repurchase it, but it's just too old. It's the L'Oreal Infallible eyeshadow in the shade Amber Rush. This is like, oh my gosh, 2016 beauty YouTube. It's so pretty. But actually, I don't think I'm gonna repurchase it. I love this color, and I like it holds a special place in my heart, but the packaging just makes me not want to reach for it because it's not super convenient. And I actually replaced it pretty much with this shade from Maybelline, their pressed single shadow. I'll link it below, but this is very similar, and it's just an easier formula, and I actually like the tone just a bit more. It's a bit more brown, so I can get rid of this one and keep this one around. This is so old, but I'm going to keep it just for nostalgia's sake. It's the e.l.f. Baked Eyeshadow in the shade Toasted. I use this all the time. It doesn't look very used, but it was like completely round, and look how flattened down it is. I really wish they still made these. This formula was so good. This is when e.l.f. was not sold in Target, and it was like, you know, $1, and their studio line that had the black packaging was like $3. But this shade is beautiful. It's like taupey, rosy. I can't use it on my eyes anymore, but I am going to keep it just for keepsakes. This one is super pretty. It's the Ulta Beauty Lustrous Foil Eyeshadow in the shade Rose Gold Leaf. I love this. It's gorgeous. It's just a bit messy, so I don't find myself reaching for it that much. I do keep that plastic cover on it, but this is a great like special occasion eyeshadow, so I'm going to keep it. This one is iconic. ColourPop Super Shock Shadow in the shade Ritz. It's just like basically like Urban Decay Space Cowboy. As you can see, I have pan in there, so I'm going to keep using this, and it's really good for like fun holiday looks, but it's also just really, you know, understated, and you can kind of wear it like day to day because the glitter is so refined. I think it's so pretty, and I like how there's kind of a translucent, almost brown taupey base. I think it's so pretty. I've had other ColourPop eyeshadows. This is the only one that stuck around in my collection because I think it's so unique. This one is just a great thing to set the eyelid with, like after eyeshadow primer, to take away any excess oil. It's the Wet n Wild single eyeshadow in Creme Brulee. I don't know, I'll try and link it. They don't sell this like single eyeshadow format in store very much anymore, but I'll link it where I can find it. Okay. Right out the gate, I can tell you that I'm going to keep all of these. I love all of them. So these are newer from Sephora. I love these colors. This is probably my newest one. The Hard Candy Moods eye paints. I had a couple other shades that I didn't like as much, but this deep, like rich chocolatey brown is unique in my collection, so been loving that. This is probably my all-time favorite cream eyeshadow. I recommend this to so many people. The Almay Velvet Foil Cream Eyeshadow. This one specifically is in the shade Cupid Glaze. This so good. And you can buy it on Amazon still, but I don't know why more people don't talk about this. Look at how pretty that is. And you don't need an eyeshadow primer because I'm very picky with my cream eyeshadows. This one is, you can put it all over the lid, into the crease, and it doesn't budge. It stays all day. I use this all the time when I work weddings because it's super quick and easy in the morning. And it lasts all day. It looks like I spent way more time on my own makeup than I actually did, you know? And I love it. This is newer to me. I got it on sale. It's the One Size Matte Eye Popper, the Smoothing Creamy Eyeshadow in the shade Battle Ready. This is a fun kind of taupey color. These two are pretty similar. This one's a bit more orangey. This one's like a bit more true pink, but I recommend the Ulta Beauty Matte Cream Eyeshadow. It's very underrated, I think. And I haven't tried the new repackaged formula. I think it's the same, but keeping that. This one is a good alternative to this Ulta one if you're like concerned about the reformulation, if there was one. If you like can get your hands on this one easier, you can buy this one on Amazon. It's the Rimmel Wonder Cloud All Day Wear Soft Eyeshadow. This one is great, doesn't crease on me. This one is beautiful as like a base. It's the About Face eyeshadow in White Noise. I use this to like make other colored eyeshadows pop, and I think it's great. Always like a good staple to have, you know, like a dark brown / black and then a white in your cream eyeshadow collection, so I'm keeping that. And then this one is from Relove, the Walmart brand that's like the sister company of Revolution. The eye light in the shade Queen. It's very pretty. It's kind of like scattered lights. Like I wouldn't wear this full pigment across my eyelid, but I would kind of tap it like on top of an eyeshadow. It's really pretty. Just like takes it to the next level. So I'm keeping all of these. Okay, these are all my setting sprays and I'm keeping every single one. They all have a different function for me. This one's almost done, but this is kind of natural, like just giving the life back to my makeup. If I powder my entire face, I'll use this just to like kind of, yeah, create a more natural finish on top of it. It's not super good at like making makeup last longer, but it is very pretty. It smells great, and it's just like a beautiful experience because it has the continuous spraying nozzle on the top of it. So I like this. I almost always have one of these in my collection. This one is great for, like it says, the matte setting spray. So I use this when I know I'm feeling more oily that day, or sometimes I'll just use this in my T-zone and then like do this one on the outer corners of my face. So love this one, but I will say I have found, since I found this one, it has taken over this spot for me because it's like, this is kind of like hairspray, like it's super matte, it's kind of almost drying, like I feel like there's like straight up alcohol in here. And sometimes that's what you need, right? Like, but this is just more refined. If I could pick one word to describe this one, it's balancing. Like it says it's matte, controls shine, but it also gives like life back into your face where you want it to, and then it balances everywhere else. So it's perfect and honestly like insane for combination skin. I haven't found a setting spray that works as much as this one does, or that like works in the way this one does. So I have another one from Revolution Beauty in my makeup kit that I love. It's really good at staying power, but I'm gonna replace it with this one next time it runs out. Okay, we're getting down to the end here. Let's do my bigger eyeshadow palettes. And I am gonna get rid of a couple of these just because I don't reach for them anymore. But these are all so fun. I recently got rid of quite a few when I moved here to Georgia, just because, again, I wasn't using them. First off, I'm gonna declutter this one. It's so pretty, but I just don't use like a lot of these shades, and I can find most of these shades in here. So I just pull for the Zodiac BH Cosmetics one more. And yeah, I want to keep this, but I have every shade that I actually love in this one, so there's no point. But the BH Cosmetics formula is so good. They technically went out of business, but you can still find them on some other company, like bought their eyeshadow formula, and they still sell a lot of these. I don't know if these two are still in stock, but the BH Cosmetics eyeshadow formula is so good. But I am going to declutter this. I just don't reach for it very much. It's just not fitting my needs right now. I was going to declutter this, but I think I'm actually going to keep it. This like ruby color is unique. This brown blue shift color is super unique. I'm going to keep it around and see if I reach for it more, like filming fun videos, you know. But it's the Jackie Aina Anastasia Beverly Hills palette. It's an oldie but a goodie. This one I love because it's just matte pastel shades, which is really fun to do in the summer. And you know, with those eyeliners that I showed before, the colorful eyeliners, I like to set a lot of those with like powder products. So love this. It's just like a great basic, and it's like really good formula for the price. The Profusion eyeshadows are really good, so I'm keeping this. This I'm definitely keeping. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. I need to use this more. Cool tones aren't super my thing, but it's just so pretty. Like I just have so much fun when I use this palette, and I'm keeping it. This one is also so pretty. Oh my gosh, this formula is so unique. It's the Urban Decay Stone Vibes eyeshadow palette. They don't sell this anymore, which I think is just a travesty. I wish they still sold this. I wish you could still get it, but it's one of my favorite eyeshadow palettes. And then this is so old, but I used it recently and the formula hasn't changed. Everything about it is like still so creamy and beautiful. And I just don't see any reason why I should get rid of it. I love it. I don't use this highlighter in the center like ever, but everything else I use. And it's just, they're very unique colors, which I like having around for fun. So keeping this. Okay, last couple categories. We're gonna do lip liners and mascaras. Okay, so I love this Kokie one. I love the lifter one. This is a unique shade in my collection. I'm gonna declutter this one, the ColourPop Lippy Pencil in the shade Oh Snap. It's just a bit too cool tone for me, almost leaning like purple, so I don't reach for it very much, so I'm gonna declutter that. Love this Kokie formula. This one's like darker and more cool tone. This one's warmer and a bit lighter. And then True Red. The LA Colors Nude Glam Auto Lip Liner. Got this at the Dollar Tree. It's in the shade Kindness. That's a pretty color. Let's swatch it compared to these. Yeah, I'm gonna declutter this one. The Kokie one in the shade Dusty Rose is very similar and it lasts longer on me, so I'm always gonna reach for that one over this one. So I'm gonna declutter this one. And then the Wet n Wild lip liner in the shade Brandy Wine is so pretty. It's not like the best formula ever, but I like to have it around, and I think it's like a good option for this time of year. It's like more brown and just a fun color that is unique to my collection. So I'm gonna keep all of those. And then I am gonna declutter this one. I really like this Tower 28 mascara in the shade Drift, but it's just flaking on me. It's gotten too old. And then this, I might repurchase this one actually, but then the Maybelline Snapscara. I bought this because I wanted to try a tubing mascara, but I hate it. It flakes on me, and I don't think it's like truly tubing, so just gonna get rid of those now. I've only had it for like 6 months, but I use it all the time. It's the Bubble and Rudy Berry tubing mascara. They're chocolate dripped tubing mascara. It's like true brown, so it's like chocolatey. It has some warmth in it, and I love it. I use it all the time. I have a backup that I'm going to open once this one runs out or once it starts getting old on me, but I only need this one open for now. Don't really love the other two, so just going to keep this one. Okay, here's everything I decluttered in this part 2, and now let me grab everything from part 1. Oh, I'm so happy with this. This is way more than I thought I was getting rid of. This is gonna feel so good. Gonna have more room to breathe in my collection and just like really have things that I love. So honestly, all of these I'm like not upset that any of them are leaving. I mean, other than like this because it's expired, but I can always get a new one. So yeah, that's everything we're getting rid of. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.